Under the supervision of Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Manchester United may face a challenging period in the transfer market over the next few years, as the club seems to be heading towards a complete overhaul of its squad. The team is likely to see many movements in the player roster, offering the club an opportunity to raise funds by selling prominent players like Marcus Rashford. However, the question remains, who will be the player to generate the highest financial return from leaving Old Trafford? In this video, we reviewed the most notable sales made by Manchester United throughout its illustrious history, based on reliable reports and sources like the Transfermarkt website. We managed to compile a comprehensive list of the top 10 most expensive players sold by the club, shedding light on the transformations that the management has gone through in an attempt to achieve financial balance, as well as the impact these transfers have had on the club's future team-building strategy. With Sir Jim Ratcliffe now involved in the club's management, a new strategy is expected to focus on a mix of developing local talent and bringing in young stars that align with the philosophy of the incoming coach, Roberto Amorim. These changes may open the doors to reshaping the team to meet the club's ambitions in both domestic and international competitions. Dean Henderson, after several loan spells, including one with Nottingham Forest in the Premier League, it became clear that he would not be Manchester United's #1 goalkeeper in the future. However, it was Crystal Palace that decided to pay the required amount to finalize Henderson's departure from the Red Devils, paying £20 million to bring him to Selhurst Park in a permanent deal in 2008, the summer of 2024. This move was in line with the club's strategic direction, as Henderson had no place in the first-team lineup at United, prompting him to seek greater playing opportunities elsewhere. Memphis Depay arrived at Old Trafford in 2015 to much fanfare, with high expectations after he impressed for the Netherlands under his compatriot Louis van Gaal. However, his move to Manchester United didn't live up to the anticipated success, as he struggled to establish himself as a key player in the squad. After just 18 months, he was sold to Lyon in a deal that worked out well for everyone, with United receiving over £20 million from the transfer, while Depay regained his form in League One and re-established himself as a top European forward. This transfer serves as an example of how all parties benefited from the changes in their careers, with Depay rebuilding himself as a key player, while United gained good financial value after the initial failed deal. French midfielder Morgan Schneiderlin moved to Manchester United from Southampton in 2015, but despite high expectations, he couldn't establish himself in the first team under either Louis van Gaal or Jose Mourinho. Schneiderlin played fewer than 50 games for United, and just 18 months after joining, he was sold to Everton for £24 million. This deal exemplifies how some players struggle to adapt to Manchester United's playing style, as Schneiderlin never managed to fit into the plans of the various managers, ultimately seeking better opportunities elsewhere. Nonetheless, the transfer was financially beneficial for the club, as United received a good fee for a player who didn't live up to expectations. David Beckham, after graduating from the Carrington Academy, became a global star during his 11-year career at Manchester United. The attacking midfielder was renowned for his superb free kick abilities and crossing, making him one of the top players in both the Premier League and the world. In 2003, it seemed Beckham was headed to Barcelona, but Real Madrid intervened at the last moment to bring him in as part of their Galacticos project. The deal was concluded at £24.5 million, becoming one of the most famous transfers of that period. This transfer is considered one of the most impactful in Manchester United's history, as Beckham was an iconic figure at the club, leaving a significant gap after his departure. However, the deal proved profitable for the club, while Beckham continued to shine in Spain and became part of one of the most famous teams in football history. Winger Daniel James moved to Manchester United from Swansea City in 2019 after impressing in the Championship. Though he was seen as an exciting addition to the team, having played over 50 games for United across all competitions, his career at Old Trafford didn't live up to expectations. After just 2 years, Manchester United decided to sell James to their fierce rivals, Leeds United, for £25 million. Since the move, James has remained part of Leeds' squad, finding a spot in their lineup and rediscovering some of his former brilliance. This transfer exemplifies how a player's journey at Manchester United can take different paths, with James failing to adapt to the competitive environment at Old Trafford, but benefiting from the move to another club where he could regain his form. Scott McTominay, having risen through the ranks at Manchester United's academy, spent 7 years as a professional player in the first team, winning trophies and scoring crucial goals at important moments. Despite that, McTominay struggled to establish himself as a regular starter for long periods. In 2024, Manchester United sold the Scottish international to Napoli for £25.7 million, a deal that helped the club comply with Financial Fair Play (FFP) regulations. This transfer represents a strategic step for the club, enabling United to secure a good financial return while maintaining financial stability. For McTominay, it was an opportunity to move to a different league where he could have more chances for success. Mason Greenwood, who emerged from Manchester United's Carrington Academy, was believed to be one of the key players for the club's future attack. However, his career with United took a significant setback when his football activities were suspended in 2022 due to legal issues. Amid the uncertainty surrounding his future, Manchester United decided to loan him to Getafe in Spain before selling him permanently to Marseille in 2024 for £26.6 million. This transfer is one of the most controversial in United's history, as external factors played a role in the decision to sell Greenwood, who had once been one of the brightest young talents in English football. There were high expectations for Angel Di Maria when he moved to Manchester United from Real Madrid in 2014 for around £60 million. Seen as one of the best wingers in the world, he was expected to make a significant impact at the club. However, the Argentine failed to meet those expectations, struggling to adapt and never truly satisfying the demands of the fans and coaches. After just one season, United sold Di Maria to Paris Saint-Germain for £44.3 million, where he went on to thrive in France, becoming one of the club's standout players. This transfer serves as a lesson on how high expectations can affect a player's career, with Di Maria unable to handle the pressure at United but flourishing at PSG, where he proved himself as a world-class player. Belgian striker Romelu Lukaku fetched large sums throughout his career, with Manchester United among the clubs paying a significant fee to sign him. In 2017, United paid Everton £90 million plus add-ons for Lukaku, making him one of the club's most expensive signings. However, Lukaku struggled with consistency during his time at Old Trafford, delivering some great performances but also facing criticism for his unpredictable form. In 2019, Manchester United sold him to Inter Milan for £74 million, reducing their financial losses from an unsuccessful Sporting deal. Although Lukaku didn't reach the expected heights at Manchester United, his move to Inter Milan marked a fresh start, where he excelled and achieved considerable success, showing his ability to adapt to different environments. Cristiano Ronaldo tops the list of the most expensive sales in Manchester United's history, with his transfer to Real Madrid in 2009 for £80 million, making it the most expensive transfer in football history at the time. Ronaldo, whose global career began at Manchester United under Sir Alex Ferguson, made great strides to become one of the greatest football players in the history of the game. In his 6 years at Old Trafford, he won every possible trophy with United, achieving 9 major titles and exceptional individual performances, including winning the Ballon d'Or in 2008. His move to Real Madrid not only marked a personal career leap, but also became the cornerstone of the Spanish team's dominance in European football in the following years. This transfer symbolized the end of a golden era in Manchester United's history, as the club entered a new phase, while Ronaldo continued to build his legendary career worldwide.